So what we've done at the cabinet, we've begun to look at Kentucky and compare it to other states in areas like the benefits that we pay out. How long on average do we pay those benefits? What are the tax rates like for our employers compared to employer tax rates in other states, etc. And we found some interesting things. For example, what Kentucky pays out as a maximum weekly benefit at $448 a week is among the highest benefit payout of any of the states that we're surrounded by or competing with. As a matter of fact, as I look at this, only Ohio and Illinois, of all those states that surround us or are below us in the southeast, only those two states pay more than we do. So, you know, we look at that and kind of ask the question, are we remaining competitive with folks like Tennessee, who, for example, pays $275 a week as a maximum? We're at $448, or a state like Indiana that pays $390 a week, and again we're at $448. So, you know, that's kind of one of the things that stands out to us. Another thing that's very concerning is the average duration of that payment. And when we look at Kentucky, we see that Kentucky is literally one of the longest duration paying states in the country. And certainly when we look at the states that we're competing with, the only state around us or below us that pays out longer is Illinois. And they pay for 17.1 weeks on average. We pay 17 weeks on average. So again, if we look at someone like Tennessee, who pays 12.6 weeks on average, and we're at 17, we have to ask ourselves, you know, what are we doing that creates that longer payment period? Unemployment insurance is a very important safety net for our employees who, for no reason, no fault of their own, find themselves unemployed. At the same time, we want to make sure that we're not creating any sort of incentive to keep folks on unemployment insurance longer than they need to be. The bottom line is, and the reason it's there, is to get them through to the next job, and we want to connect them with that next job, that good job, that well-paying job, as quickly as possible. So that's what we want to focus on in our overall unemployment insurance area.
So this seems like a very big problem, especially since we rank at the very lowest among the states, like you just brought up. So how do we fix this problem? Is there a way to, you know, address the current state of how things are without legislation, or, you know, how do we fix this?
Well, I know there are some things that we're working on internally in our career centers, where, you know, we're meeting with and interfacing with those individuals on unemployment insurance. And there are some things that we can do and some practices that we're beginning to put in place now that we think will improve that will help those individuals connect with work, with meaningful work sooner. But probably there will need to be some legislation to address some of these things too. I'm not sure what that legislation needs to look like right now. We're still in very early stages of this whole process and identifying just how competitive we are as a state. So we're not there yet when it comes to what the answers are. But I think it will be a combination of internal policies and processes and legislation.
So what does this problem, the way it currently stands, mean for Kentucky businesses? How detrimental is the current system to Kentucky employers?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can really be a disincentive for employers to come here in the first place if they're looking for a new home and they're comparing several states. the unemployment insurance law is certainly one that they will look at. And so we, in that area, we just want to make sure that, not that we're treating our employees unfairly or punitively at all, but that at the same time that we're competitive. So we can say to an employer who's looking at Kentucky, check us out. I think you'll find that we're very fair and competitive in what we're doing in the area of unemployment insurance. So the same is true with existing employers. We want to be fair with those individuals, just like we want to make sure that there is that safety net for the employees. We want to make sure that it's fair and that the employers feel like they're being given a fair shake. And so I think there's work to be done there, and we want to do that where we can.